yes, dude. Yes. Yes. We got a movie, an animated movie that I was actually highly anticipating this year, arguably my most highly anticipated animated movie of this year, outside of SpongeBob 4, but we're not talking about that right now. And it actually lived up to everything I wanted, man. Like, yes, it took me forever to see it, and I'm sorry, but thankfully it's out on digital now, which is how I finally got to see it myself. Yeah, it came out on digital less than a month after its actual release, which is a bit weird, but we're not going to talk about that right now. What we're talking about right now is why this movie is great, why it is possibly the best sequel of the year. Again, I still gotta see Neza 2 first, before saying that definitively, but it is definitely top 2 sequel of the year at least. And why it is just another banger in this incredible year for animation, and arguably one of DreamWorks' best movies yet. I literally cannot put it any more bluntly than that, so let's dive straight into it and tell you all about why I freaking adored Bad Guys 2. What's up? What's happening? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Mr. Station, Mr. for everything animation, including Bad Guys trying to go good, as well as TV and movies. I am your host, Jackson Small. As you can see, I'm super excited today because last night I finally got to see The Bad Guys 2, one of, if not my most anticipated animated movie and sequel of 2025. And I am thrilled to say that not only did it live up to everything that I was hoping it would from the trailers and all my high expectations because of how much I love the first film, it managed to surpass the original in ways that I couldn't even begin to imagine. Now, it's not a perfect movie, there's one or two little flaws here, but I'm just going to say right now, straight up front, go see this movie now. It is easily one of the best animated movies of the year, without a freaking doubt. It's between this and K-pop Demon Hunters, for right now, for my best animated movie of the year. Oh, and Day the Earth Blew Up, can't forget that one. Seriously, dude, like, this has been such an amazing year for animated movies. Like, outside of Fixed and Smurfs, it's been a really good year for animated films. We've been getting a lot of quality back to back to back all throughout this year. And the year's not even done yet. Like, that's wild to think about, isn't it? But, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. I'm just super freaking excited that I finally got to see this movie and I finally get to talk about it with you guys after waiting all freaking month to finally see it. So, without any more further ado or delay or rambling, here's my written review for Bad Guys 2. It's an awesome movie. That's what you need to know right up front. But stick around. I still have a lot to say. I hope you enjoy. Here we go. It is always an incredible feeling when a movie you've been highly anticipating for the entire year actually lives up to your hype and delivers everything that you want in absolute spades. Yeah, I'm not even going to be remotely vague about it this time, and like Wolf himself, I'm just going to cut immediately to the chase. The Bad Guys 2 is a spectacular sequel, and one of DreamWorks Animation's best movies yet. Like, top 3, top 5 easily. The action is incredible. It somehow took all that great action from the first movie and cranked it up to 11. Especially that whole final scene in space on the rocket ship. Like, that is one of the coolest freaking finales to any animated movie in recent memory. The pacing is even faster than the first one, because since all these characters are established now, excluding the bad girls, but we'll get to them, but since the bad guys themselves are all established now, we can just go straight into the action this time, rather than having some moments to build up their character. Here, we immediately start off with a heist in Cairo. Like, immediately. Like, no waiting around or nothing. And even though the pacing is faster, trust me when I say it's absolutely not rushed either. The storytelling is excellent. Yes, the story is definitely taking a backseat to the action, which I can see why it's a common complaint with this movie from what I've seen from reviews. But when the action is this good, it does kind of balance out in a way. But that's not to say that the storytelling in this movie is bad. No, the story in this movie is still excellent. It's still really well done. It's just taking a backseat to what we're actually here for. Which, I mean, to be expected, it was also kind of the same way in the first movie, to an extent. But still great, and we still get another great arc for Wolf, we still get some great character development for Diane Foxington, and Snake, especially, gets a ton of new development, and he's a completely different guy than he was in the first movie. And I mean that as a positive, trust me. The animation is freaking amazing. Not only is it the same incredible style from the original, but they managed to go even further beyond with it and take the animation to new heights. Again, I gotta talk about it because it's the highlight of the movie. The whole finale in space. Some of the greatest animation that I have seen out of Dreamworks in the past 10-20 years. It is insane what they accomplish. Voice acting is phenomenal, from returning vets like Sam Rockwell as Wolf, who delivers yet again another amazing performance that sadly will not get nominated for an Oscar, even though it should, but we're not going to talk about that right now, to new additions like Daniel Brooks from Peacemaker as Kitty. I'm going to be reviewing Peacemaker soon, I promise you, but for now, this is my introduction to Daniel Brooks, because I have not seen Orange is the New Black or any of that stuff. But I freaking loved her in this role as Kitty. Not only because Kitty is an incredible antagonist and one of the best in DreamWorks in recent memory, but also because her voice performance is, like, it's so good. Like, her voice performance is so good in the way that she plays off of Wolf and then plays off her own crew and then plays off the rest of the bad guys. Like, it is so good all throughout this movie, and she is so good all throughout this movie. And even, I can't escape this little bugger for the life of me. Even 2000's Sonic the Hedgehog himself, Jason Griffith, in a fun side role as Warden Jim. Yes, Jason Griffith is in this movie. And even though his role is brief, he's definitely more of a glorified cameo than anything else. But even though his role is brief, it is pretty funny. And the way that he interacts with the commissioner, yeah, it had me laughing. He gets one of the best laughs in the movie. The music is fantastic, once again, not only because it's still Daniel Pemberton, who was amazing with the score and the music he made in the original movie, but also because we get not one but two original songs this time. We get one song with Busta Rhymes. Yeah, that explains itself. Busta is one of the best rappers out there. And we get one of, if not possibly my favorite pop song of this entire year, excluding, obviously, K-pop Demon Hunters, Good Life, its main theme, which has implanted itself in my head right next to Golden. Seriously, Good Life is so good, dude. Like, if you see a cover of that song very soon on this channel, yeah, it's for good reason. It is such a good vibe song. Like, if you haven't heard it yet, I highly recommend it, especially the super extended 8-minute version. They are all so good. And then you have the great instrumental score on top of that, or perfectly soundtracks every single scene. The music's excellent, just like it was in the original, if not even better. The budding relationship between Wolf and Diane is absolutely adorable. Not only because both of them get great character development all throughout the movie, Diane especially. I obviously can't say why because spoilers, but she gets great character development in this movie. And after having some hints of it in the original, they're finally actually turning it into a romantic relationship. And you do get some of that romantic tension / friend zoning dilemma thing, and we're in some anime movies that can come off as overdone, tired, and cringe. Here in Bad Guys 2, it's natural, it's fluid, it works for both characters because both characters have that struggle. And not to mention their chemistry, it hasn't lost a beat since the original, despite the 3-year gap between the two movies. Like, it is so good. It is so good. The entire final sequence in space is jaw-dropping. I've already talked about it twice, but seriously, I cannot understate it enough. The entire final sequence in space, one of the best finales in any DreamWorks movie ever. And I will die on that hill with pride. Kitty is a badass villain. Like, I freaking loved Kitty. Like, I wasn't sure if I would or wouldn't because in the trailers they didn't give her a whole lot of focus. But in the movie, when you hear about her backstory and why she does what she does, it elevates her to another level. She is one of the most well thought out, unpredictable, and genuinely badass villains that we have seen out of DreamWorks in a while. Honestly, I think since Wolf. Since Death from Puss in Boots' The Last Wish. And yeah, if you saw my review of the original, you know that my biggest complaint about that movie was that Marmalade was a bad villain. He was a bad villain, he was predictable, and it was a twist villain that didn't work. Here, with Kitty, not only is it right up front known that she's a villain, but they don't pull any of that stupid twist crap. Like, she is straight up evil to her very core, and it makes her so much fun to hate. And then you have her crew as well. I love Pigtail. She got some of the best laughs out of the movie for me, especially her German accent. At least I think it's German. Is it German? Apologies to the voice actors if I get it wrong, but I'm pretty sure it's a German accent. It's either German or Russian. And of course, Snake's girlfriend. The two of them have great back and forth chemistry with one another, as both of them backstab each other, and apparently it's what gets them to grow even closer together. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny. The rewatchability is insanely high. It's just as high as the first, if not even higher, especially if you watch the two back to back. Cinematography is spectacular. They get so creative with the camera shots and angles in this movie. Again, especially in the action scenes. Like, that, you know that scene from the trailer where they're running up the rocket? They actually have a lot more segments to that sequence than what they show in the trailers. Like, it is so good. It is so freaking good. I love the cinematography in this movie. It is still absolutely hilarious. Like, yeah, you still have that running joke of Piranha farting when he's nervous, and yeah, it is still a bit but the rest of the jokes in the movie are genuinely hilarious. Like, there is some well-written dialogue. They still have that cartoony, fun slapstick. And sometimes even in the action sequences, they throw in a gag or two. And it's genuinely funny to watch. And the character development is top-notch. I already talked about Diane and Wolf and Snake, but even some of the other characters get some development. Like Webbs, for example. She gets a tiny bit more development as she gets a more upgraded version of her hacking computer from the first movie. But the movie literally starts off with her very first ever heist. That's the heist in Cairo. That is her first ever heist as a member of the bad guys. Like, really, really cool. The character development is so good in this movie, man. Sure, there's still some low-hanging fruit jokes. You still get the jokes you expect in an animated movie, but trust me when I say they are not as plentiful as in most Dreamworks movies. Looking at you, Trolls and Boss Baby. But honestly, even those got so absurd I couldn't help but laugh, especially in the, again, in the space finale. I know, I'm talking about the space finale a lot, I'm sorry, but it is the highlight of the freaking movie. And I can't talk about this part because it was in the trailers, where Piranha farts inside the spacesuit with Snake still in it, and they turn into a balloon and start floating away. Like, it's a stupid joke. It shouldn't work, and yet they actually made it somewhat funny because it's so absurd. Like, seriously, I'm sorry, but it is funny. I honestly have zero complaints. Like, zero. There's nothing about this movie, besides the low-hanging fruit jokes, that I can actually criticize it for. It's that good, that tightly written, and that well made. This is an awesome sequel that was more than worth the 3 years of waiting, and I can easily recommend. Like, if you love the first movie, you are going to adore this second film. It's yet another certified banger in this spectacular year for animated movies. Like, let me try to count on one hand all the great animated movies that have come out this year so far. Let's see, we have Plankton the Movie, Day the Earth Blew Up, K-Pop Demon Hunters, this... Oh, there was a fifth one. I'm trying to remember what it was. Probably Nezuko. It's more than likely going to be on there. But, yeah, it's just been a great year for animated movies, man. One of the best in recent memory, if you ask me. And the year's not even done yet, which is what's blowing my mind, because we still have a couple more animated movies coming down the pipeline. Most notably, of course, SpongeBob 4: Search for SquarePants. Really excited for that movie. And of course, K-Pop Demon Hunters is going to be getting a sequel within the next 2-3 years. That's exciting. Like, there's not been a better time than now to be a fan of animation, because there are so many great animated movies that are releasing this year that it is nuts. It is absolutely crazy. So, yeah, I've rambled on a lot about this movie. I'm sorry, but I'm just so happy, man. I'm so happy that this lived up to everything that I wanted it to be, and even delivered more than I wanted. It's such a good movie, man. If you have not seen Bad Guys 2, you need to see it, especially now that it's out on digital, it's out on YouTube Movies, it's out on all the streaming services. You have no excuse. Go watch this movie right now. It is absolutely worth your time, and that is why its final verdict is a high and very well deserved 11 out of 10. Very well deserved, incredible sequel to an already incredible original, and it's shaping up to be one of DreamWorks' strongest franchises yet. Now that Kung Fu Panda and How to Train Your Dragon have just fallen off to the wayside, and we're not going to talk about what's happening with Shrek like that. That is just asking for trouble. But in terms of new franchises, this is a very strong one, and DreamWorks themselves know that. So, yeah. It's an awesome movie. It's an awesome sequel. It is more than worth your time if you haven't seen it yet. Go check it out. Absolutely go check this out. And, like I said, it may or may not be the best sequel of the year. May or may not be. Again, I still need to see Nezza 2, and I still need to see SpongeBob 4, but once all those are done and watched and over with, then I'll be able to say definitively if it is or isn't. What I can tell you, though, is that this is easily one of DreamWorks' best movies. It's one of their best sequels, and again, their number 2s continue to be just their best movies, outside of Trolls and Boss Baby, but we're not going to talk about those, because they deserve to be down there. They deserve to be down there. I'm talking about, like, Shrek 2, How to Train Your Dragon 2, Kung Fu Panda 2, and now Bad Guys 2. Like, it seems like the second installment of pretty much any DreamWorks movie is their best in that particular franchise. So, okay, I'm losing my voice now, so I better end the video before I start having a crackly voice like I'm the squeaky teen from Simpsons. So, thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day. Feel free to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below on this review, this channel, this movie, whatever you want. Leave feedback if you wish. I'm all ears on how I can improve this for the future. And until the next review, have a great day. I'll see you next time, and whatever you do, don't steal a rocket ship. It won't end well. See ya.